take a seat. I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me. I really wanna know you. Come and take a seat. I really wanna meet you. Come and talk to me. I really wanna know you. Support politicians with issues, businessmen with venues. Any artist, your performance, we can help you preview. We gon' show love, we get involved, we do it all. When it come to Atown, we put it down, the best around. Atown's podcast show. I really want Atown's podcast show. I really want to know you. Come and take a seat.
What's up? It's your boy Atown. Monday, December 30th. 2 days away from the new year. Y'all checking in with us right now. I thank y'all for being a good fan of the show, or just the viewer of the show. You probably no damn fan though, but anyway, if you tuned in today, I want to thank you anyway. That was a new intro for the podcast show. That song was sung by Shay Davis. She's a very remarkable young lady doing her thing. Track was produced by Lucy LaFleur and Andrew Pun, you know what I'm saying, a.k.a. Chop Professor. Okay, you know what it was. Family, you know what I'm saying? So we just had somebody walk in the studio unannounced, but welcome everybody to T.I. Oh, but anyway, listen. These two young men right here, these two gentlemen right here, like a brother and nephew. Feel me? Jay Blankenship is like, y'all know Jay Blankenship. He's the businessman around this camp. You feel me? Greenville stand up, Anderson stand up, Churchtown stand up. Y'all know my man. And his son JUJUAN. JUJUAN been playing ball since I knew JUJUAN, like a little nephew, but he actually bigger than me though. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I want to welcome Jay Blankenship and JUJUAN Blankenship to the show today. Thank you for coming on. Come on, Jay. You get your hand shot, baby. Come on now. Clap it up, baby. Come on now. Make a stop. Yo, I throw the hook up there, Jay. The hook up. There you go. The hook up. Yeah. So, like, listen. You came on last minute, bro. I appreciate you coming on because I hit you up last night. Yo, man, can you come on today? Because I am my guest. My guest, she didn't want to come on today. She thought about it and she said, nah, I don't want to come on right now. And I understand what she kind of hurt me though. But anyway, y'all came through the clutch. Like some brothers supposed to. Now, today's topic, man, like it's about being a parent, which you are, about being a college athlete, which you did your time, you know, playing ball. You played ball on all levels. The pros and cons of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you as a parent watching your son play ball from little league to high school, college, and everything like that. You feel me? Give me your insight on what you felt as a parent watching your son play.
I was very proud, you know, of the accomplishment. You know, he's been playing football since he was about 6 years old, and to see the growth, it was a journey. Mm-hmm. But I was proud as a father to see my child out there handling business on the field. Wasn't trying to live my dream, you know, through my son, but it brought back a lot of memories of when I was there. And I think over the long haul, to see the progression of going from 6 and under in middle school, what he did in middle school and what he did in high school, and then to see him go back to where I started, brought back so many memories. But I was just proud of that continuing legacy as a parent. You know, it's one thing to be a parent and your children have dreams and goals and aspirations. I knew what his goals and aspirations were. I tried not to be that overbearing parent to live my dream through my child. But I was very happy along the whole journey in the process. And one of the things that I always share with him as a parent was believe in yourself.
Right.
But at the end of the day, people are going to tell you things. It may not necessarily be true, but you should be able to count that your parent is telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm. I don't know now, cause some parents out there be effing up now. For example, LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball kind of like how LeVar Ball he did his boys. Then you got that DJ Ulianawale, his dad kind of like put him in a bad situation. Man, I don't think he meant to, but it's just the fact that in the long run he did though. Man.
Well, I think a lot of it is a lot of parents, especially when it comes to males. You want your children to emulate you somewhat, but understand they have their own path and their own destiny. I looked at JUJUAN's situation as I had a dream. I wasn't able to fulfill that dream because of somebody else's mistake. But to see where I wanted to start at, him start there, to be able to go to the games, be able to see the games on television, to see the pride that he took in all of that, the journey with the recruitment, taking the trips, traveling to Indiana, all over the place. As a parent, it was supporting that dream. And I'd always tell him, don't let the sport use you, you use the sport. So what I've seen over this maturation has been the birth of going from a young man to somewhat of a man and being able to use the sport, and the sport now use him, get his education, because he knows I'm big on education, and you know that. You have to have the education, and it's not about 20 years later looking at a press clipping and talking about what you did on a Friday night. But then at the end of the day, when you graduate, you still on the corner on the block talking about what you did on a Friday night.
Yeah, because when I was coming to your house and visit sometime, you made me want to go back to the damn school. Boy, you talking about, so you get your master's degree. Come on, Jay.
So when you see that as a parent, I had no doubt that he could compete on the field. And he probably got tired of me telling him, make sure you get your books. But there was a reason for that.
Did you get tired of Dad telling you to get your books?
So you hear it so much after a while, it's just, you don't even think about it. Or it don't even faze you. I ain't get tired of it for he used to give me $1, I remember, in kindergarten. If I didn't pull a card. So in kindergarten, $1 a lot. So I don't know, it's just like, it was just instilled young to get good grades. Stay out of trouble. Kind of became like natural.
Yeah.
From now to PhD program, A's and B's.
That's right. You going for your PhD, right? And you done got what before? You got the bachelor's degree?
I got associate's, bachelor.
What? You know what? I knew that, but I forgot about it though. Cause, man, you done came along, but you done grew up, boy. That mean I got oldest. I'm older dust right now, player. God, you was a little something, player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you done got all that going on. Cause your mom and dad, your brother. So when you start playing football, I mean, not when you start playing ball, but when you left from Hannah, and you went to USC. What was that like?
Shoot, it was just crazy. I mean, it had pros and cons, like anywhere will. It was definitely a great experience. I mean, I'd go back and do it all over again right now. I'm like, shoot. And still being, after that, I was always far from home. So being able to be close, I could come home, go back in the day if I needed to. It was just crazy because, like, I played in Oklahoma at Tulsa, Southern Illinois, Indy, JUCO, so Kansas, all these places, like, so it's rare I might have, I mean, I had teammates from South Carolina and stuff like that, but when I was at South Carolina, you know, these people I played against in high school and little league and stuff, now we all on the same team. Like, they went to other schools throughout the state,
Right.
So that made that like a little more fun too. It was a crazy experience. I mean, just being, it was just crazy, like representing your home state and all that. Good, but cons too. It might have been too close to home.
Right.
So
Right.
both of them, give or take.
So I know Jay, I know you big on the books, education. Now go back. You played what?
Basketball.
Basketball.
And then I had an opportunity to play football as well. I was good at both sports.
Okay.
And then unfortunately, when I got to the University of South Carolina, where he eventually started, got hit by a drunk driver, and that ended that dream. But my dad would always tell me to always make sure I had a plan B, and it was those books. And fortunately for me, I took the route of going away from being a student athlete to saying, now I need to focus on my academics, because I knew at some point that would take me further than my ability was going to take me, because I couldn't play anymore. But the reality set in that, hey, same focus I had as an athlete, put it in the classroom. So we had a healthy competition, especially when he started getting degrees.
Right.
Because I have a master's, MBA, and all that stuff. And so then he starts saying, well, I got an associate now, I got a bachelor's now, I got a master's. So I'm proud of the fact he's about to get his PhD. He's going to one-up me.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, I'm still dad.
Right. But he'll be Dr. Son though.
That's true.
Dr. Son, it kind of like, feel me? Like, you still daddy and everything, but Doctor kind of like the more,
That's true. I see
more power now. More power.
That's true. I see a lot of similarities in JUJUAN and I. He looks more like his mother. He acts more like me.
Cause y'all rock around here Omega Psi Phi.
Yeah.
Y'all hit those hooks and everything. You feel me?
So from the athletic standpoint, and now having my son as my legacy and the fraternity that I love, says a lot about me as a dad, him as a son, that he wanted to go that way, no pressure.
Right.
But I realized, and I think he realized, he had to have a plan B, so that academics became competitive for him as well. And then, he grew up in a household where everyone has at least a master's degree.
Damn.
Oh.
Y'all heard that? Everybody in the house got at least a master's degree. Everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I started going over their house. I got to the front door. Hey, man, you said you got your degree? Yeah, not today, bro. Tomorrow. I went over there, man. Even the dogs got degrees. Be honest though, they got degrees. Yeah. So JUJUAN, like, we came up there when you what you call that? When you cross over, when you online, right? We come up there. He was proud, very, very proud. We're doing so. I see that, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Because you was happy. Yeah, about 3 tears on the way up the road that day. But I started down crying too. Hell, I ain't know what to do. But yeah, man, that's a proud moment though. But so I know your wife's not here. But what do you think Janice would think about one playing full contact like that? I mean, I know she watched him play ball his whole life and everything, but when he got hurt, you know what I'm saying, or when he would get hurt or something like that, did you get upset with the team there that hit him or whatever, the team that hurt him or whatever? Did you get mad about that shit? Because I would have got mad.
Now Janice is it's a family support system.
Okay.
Janice would beam. She'd wear her 52 jersey to school and all that stuff. And when you see your child out there living their dream, and when he was at Southern Illinois and out there balling out in that third game or whatever happened, and all of a sudden you hear the announcer call his name about making a tackle, the next thing you know, Blankenship was down. I saw the discomfort in my wife's face at that time because he heard his name, but then it went silent, and we knew something was wrong. So we're a big family that believes in God, so we knew that everything would work itself out. We didn't know what his mental state would have been, but we knew that was part of playing the game. We've seen other young men get hurt on the field and stuff like that. So, but his mom has always been a cheerleader. And so, she's a big proponent as well as, hey, make sure you get your books, do the things you need to do. And we're big on making sure he understood. His brother understand the point of the last name. That's what people know.
Right.
When you playing a sport and you're running out there with a helmet on, people know you by jersey number in your lap. And so when we walk around in this community and the places that we go, and they say Blankenship, are you Jason or Juwan's father? Yeah. And of course, my wife being an educator, everybody knows Miss Blankenship. But his mom wanted to make sure he was okay.
Right.
And then once he called and let his mom know, hey, I got hurt, but everything's gonna be good, I could see the stress level go down a little bit. She wanted to go see her boy. So we took that trip.
Right. As well as you should. You know what I'm saying? As well as you should do. So when you got hurt though, like mentally, what were you going through inside your mind mentally?
I was just like really just in shock. Really? I just had the best game ever. Probably of my career, especially in college the week before. So I had other coaches from other schools DMing me, telling me I was playing good and stuff. Like before that, that we played.
Right.
So, I mean, it was just like, I don't know. I had like a long journey with recruiting, like he mentioned a little bit. So it was just like, I was kind of like, man, yeah. Because at that point, I just felt like every time I would get like, take 2 steps forward, or take 2 back, or whatever they said, take a step forward, take 2 back. That's what it kind of felt like. So I was like, okay, I graduated from Tulsa, came here to, increase my opportunity even more. And I started, before I had my leg injury, I had tore my tricep. But I didn't practice or nothing, and I still started in the first game. I didn't practice until game week. That's when I got cleared from my tricep. I tore my tricep like right after I got there, and I still started in the first game. So, but I think I had like 14 minuses. So they do plus minus plays. So I probably had like 30 something plays. 14 of them was minuses because the first game was basically my practice.
Right.
And so I'm like, bro. So I had like one of the worst games ever, and I still started the next game because they knew that like I hadn't had a chance to get acclimated or nothing for real. Then I'm one team in the country. Then I had went crazy against them. And so I'm like, okay, now we're taking a step forward. Then, like I say, I did and took one back. So I was like, man, because I really didn't know how bad it was. I had never, the only other thing I can ever say that felt close to that, well, I really don't even know how it felt, but afterwards at least was when I got in a car wreck. Other than that, I had never felt that type of pain before. So I didn't know what it was like. Like they had to carry me on the plane, all kind of stuff.
But it wasn't natural though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It wasn't nothing.
It was
Yeah,
something different.
Like, I felt it pop, and like, I felt that. Boy, yeah. So I mean, I probably felt every emotion, I'd say, because you have them times when you try to look at it positive, and so that'll help too. But even with just the injury in football alone, I probably felt like literally every single.
Bet you did. So when you had to do the rehab, so when he got hurt, Jay, so did you feel like, let me tell him to give it up, or let me try to, because you got hurt in a car wreck years ago, and did you quit playing ball because you couldn't physically do it, or you just mentally you didn't want to do it?
I was paralyzed.
Hold up, Jay. Hold up. I didn't know that at all.
Most don't. You see me walking, stuff like that. My homies who I grew up with, and all that, they know what I went through. And when you're an athlete, and I had the ability to start learning how to walk and all those things, my mental state went from being an athlete to being a student and getting my college education. My dad was always in my ear about make sure you hit your boy. So I grew up in the military.
Right.
And so my mind said, when he got hurt the first time, Tulsa was like, okay, injury's part of the game. Keep your head up. Keep trying to get him to be positive. Keep on grinding. Then he got hurt the second time. It was like, okay, what's really happening here? But I never wanted him to give up on his dream, so I always try to be positive and say, okay, Hey, injuries happen. You playing football.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like you playing some sport and you playing tag. You playing football.
Right.
But I know mentally, when you playing a sport at that level and you're trying to compete against those people that you're playing against and the people on your team, that does somewhat affect your mental state. So we always kept trying to make sure he was in a positive state.
Right.
Dennis and I.
Right.
Then I would always hop back on less about football, how you grades. Make sure we get that degree. And let football use football. And when you look at it, being a PhD program, the whole time he played football, those educations are paid for by playing the sport, right? So you're not a dumb athlete, you're not a dumb jock. Now you're getting a PhD, and that PhD is a byproduct of playing football, but he's getting it for free.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
Getting it for free.
Free.
So the journey along the way was defined by his ability from 6 and under, play a sport, now getting a doctor's degree, and you can't get no more than that. That's the pinnacle of academics. So I'm proud of my son, man, and I'm more proud of him by seeing it through the processes and the journeys and just keep believing.
Right.
So my situation and my lack thereof of not being able to play sports anymore had no bearing on how I felt about him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just wanted him to go out there and ball out. And then I wanted to be that parent to walk around, you know, at the games with my chest poked out. And the first thing we did when he was at Carolina, we bought the 52. Matter of fact, crazy, man. We was at Carolina.
Okay.
And I think it was the first game. We didn't have a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude, Caucasian guy, was walking around with number 52 jersey on. We bought the jersey from him.
You mean, wait. Off the dude back.
I never even knew that.
Wow.
Off the dude back. And then, you know, Big E made us some T-shirts, Gamecock, and had BLANKENSHIP 52 on the back. You know what I'm saying? So he had a support system.
Shout out Big E. Shout out Big E.
Along the way. And so when you look at what you was asking us earlier about like NIL and all that, at some point the cheering stops. For some it stops early, for some it stops late. But they don't have a plan B. I never had the question what his plan B was when he told me he wanted to get into grad school. I was like, okay, cool, we got a plan B.
Right.
Now let's see this process through.
What's up, man? So were there ever any times where you thought, because I know you transferred, you was in the portal from USC, you went to
JUCO, Independence, Last Chance U.
Okay. You went there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But getting in the portal, how'd you feel about that? I mean, what made you want to go in the portal? First of all, because you are USC, one of the top teams in the country. Well, not by record, but you know,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying. But by the fucking status, you know, it's the Gamecocks. USC, y'all on TV every week. Y'all playing somebody like SEC. You know what I'm talking about? So you in that kind of program. You got major. Okay, Coach
Muschamp, Will Muschamp.
Damn with him, hell with him. So how'd you feel about being in that portal, trying to find a new home?
I guess like I don't know. It's kind of stressful because I wasn't like a 5-star. Could have been, but you know, height and all that, they take all that in consideration. So it's like trying to figure out where are you gonna go, and like a million coaches hit you up. You hit up a million coaches. 10 of them be for real, and then some coaches will be like, "Yeah, we'll offer you, but you gotta commit right now," or like, "Yeah, you can come here, but you gotta sign now," or this or that. Like they give ultimatums and stuff like that. They'll ask you to walk on. Like I got asked by Highland. I think it was Highland JUCO, which they was in Kansas conference, which was my conference, and that's like the best conference in JUCO. So they asked me to walk on, and then Independence offered me. I went there and started, and then we beat Highland. So it's it be stuff like that. Like who else? Like I remember Southeastern Louisiana. They was like, they'll offer me, but I gotta commit right now. And then they'll give you a verbal offer, which means absolutely nothing. Like when I was transferring from Indy to Well, before I even knew I was gonna go to Tulsa, I was gonna go to New Mexico. That was like my first offer from JUCO FBS. I had like a lot of D2, FCS, and like small D1 AA schools, like Southern Illinois and them type schools. But the first FBS offer I got was New Mexico, so I'm trying to go there. They offered me and stuff. Then the coach was like, "Well, we're only taking one guy, and we got somebody committed." So I ain't have nowhere to really go for real. But then Tulsa called me on what was it, Tuesday? Or when?
Tuesday.
They called me on a Tuesday, and they offered me, and I was on a plane Thursday, so I had to be there Friday. That's how I ended up at Tulsa. They offered me last minute, 'cause I was just sitting. Like, a lot of people don't realize they get in the portal and they don't never get out of it. Like, they don't have no home.
And that's the thing that people don't understand. You get in that portal, your ass, you really don't, you're not guaranteed anything. Now, when you say the word offer, to me, you say the word offer, I'm talking about some money behind something. I don't know. But when you say offer, that means some bread somewhere. But maybe it may not even mean that.
Well, and that's part of being in the portal too. Like, some coaches, like when I was going to SIU, so he know I have been getting like decent money from stuff and like that at Tulsa. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you this and give you this and give you that, and everybody don't get this, but I'm gonna give you this," because trying to, like, he using that as a recruiting tool, basically like extra money then, because that was before NIL. So, which is basically now what they do with NIL,
right?
But to get me to go there to have the same type of feel like it's Tulsa, like coaches come up with all kind of crazy tactics in the portal. I promise.
See, that's why I wanted to do this show, because everybody knows that signing day was just a few weeks ago. A lot of people around here, they signed. My little cousin, Chris Henderson, he signed with Clemson, running back, the BHP, and I wanted. And then I know a couple of guys from West Side are going to different, whatever. That's great. Happy for everybody. Not only football, but every sport at its signing day, every sport is allowed to make NIL money. Okay? But the whole thing of it is knowing how to market yourself to be valuable. Because you did something in high school don't mean you're gonna do the same thing in college. Everything does not follow suit. You have to put value within yourself. You have to make yourself valuable. So when you was going to Tulsa, coach offered you different things. Me and Jay went out there. We came out there. It was me, you, Jason, Big E. We were all over to Arkansas. Watch you play ball. The first time we got there, that night, they got into it. He ain't like the coach no way. We control how we out there. And I was like, man, I know damn well we gonna way out here and can't watch them play ball tomorrow. And I was kind of like, Jay was like, man, the coach on me. I said, oh man. So anyway, it was kind of an experience though, cause see, Jay didn't play no games though. Either the coach gonna do right or whatever. Then the next day in the game, when you got in the game, right? And the team were running, they weren't running your side at all. You get double team, whatever. They take you out the game, put the other guy in the game. They ran right through his ass. They ran right through it. We watched that game, Jay.
Yeah.
We saw that game. They ran right through that dude, bro. He was getting ran over that day. So I was like, man, why is he on the damn team? Why isn't JUJUAN playing? But because I think it had that little favoritism type shit, favoritism, whatever, or he been here longer, whatever, that shit like that. But when you go to different places, though, you go to different schools, you transfer, whatever. You have to have that value built in yourself. Like I know Shadur Sanders, if Shadur went to another school, say he didn't go to Colorado, say he didn't follow Deion Colorado, say he went to Alabama. Do you think he would have had the same kind of success at Alabama that he had at Colorado?
Probably not, because it seemed like Colorado do a good job of letting them their players be like themselves. So a lot of coaches still old school, like, so So probably not.
Yeah, probably not, because it's the culture that the DM brought with him. Culture, you know what I'm saying? The culture. A lot of these, like you said, a lot of coaches out here, man, these coaches, they want to be like Nick Saban. Nick Saban, good coach. Me, teams always be in the running, man. But I think some of his antics and shit, they don't shake out too good from the players.
See, I think to the question you asked, and JUJUAN alluded to it earlier. When I was an athlete, you either played or you didn't, right? That was the bottom line. You weren't going to be 11th grade playing JV football and be on the B team and C team and all that stuff. We had two choices. If you were past 10th grade, you had to make varsity or you didn't play, right? And making varsity, a lot of people took like, oh yeah, I made varsity team, but it sat on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you was part of the team, but you never saw the court.
Mm.
You know, I started playing varsity basketball in 8th grade.
Mm.
Then all of a sudden, ESPN comes along, start rating these guys. 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, all that stuff. Kid go to a private school, but he's 6'7", 215, run a 5 flat 40. Now all of a sudden he's a 5-star. Not when I came through, bro. It wasn't that way.
Right.
So now these guys are getting these stars, and the stars is going to be tested at NIL. Then they get to these schools, they can't compete against the next man, so then they transfer. That's why you see all these guys transferring now. You know, now they're getting more notoriety by transferring because they couldn't compete. But the school is investing all these millions and millions of dollars in these individuals. What's nothing wrong with those young men getting the money? I ain't mad at that at all.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the ratings are superficial. So you don't really know if that guy can play or not. You know what I mean? So when I look at this whole generation of NIL and all that stuff, first of all, everybody on the team is not going to be paid equally anyway, because it's all about marketing and all that stuff.
Right.
And then those individuals is called name, image, and likeness for a reason. So those individuals who noses are clean, they're not posting crazy stuff on social media, community loves them, all that, they can go make all these little camps and this and that. They can market that. Mm-hmm. Dion took marketing to a whole nother level in college football.
Do that.
Then he was smart enough to know he couldn't be the smartest coach in the room. So he went and got the Warren Sapps and all these NFL players, because those guys who play football, that's the level they want to go to.
Correct.
But he held them to a whole different standard. Unfortunately, in our community, these young men are getting these ratings, then they're in school a semester, then they're back home talking about the glory days of being on the gridiron, and then 20 years later, you got to provide for a family. So I'm looking at this whole NIL is, for me, what I tell student athletes, NIL is your personal brand.
Right.
What is your name worth? Right? What is your image worth? What is your likeness worth? So you've got to start building value before these schools even recruit you now. And then you got the added pressure when you get there that, hey, you got these guys now suing colleges and universities because they promised me $13 million. You ain't even played the first snap yet. They can give you $13 million. But, like you said, they're making these promises. And a lot of these guys that have got these superficial stars and accolades and all these different type things, they get to these major schools, they can't compete. But yeah, you were a 5-star, but you playing Kane Hall High School. You know what I mean? So now people read these press clippings. What I want to see is whatever school you go to, irregardless of how much money you get with your name, image, and likeness, do you have a degree at the end of that? Remember, I worked at a major university.
Yes, you did.
I saw some NFL players.
Yes, you did.
That college students walk around with empty book bags.
Yes, you did.
You know what I'm saying? Then when they get injured, all of a sudden they got to go back and try to get their education, this and that. So hopefully what will happen is those who have a story to tell, who've been through the recruitment process, who've been to Tennessee, who've been to Purdue, been to all these different places, all the coaches said the same thing. So when he came home and told my wife and I that he decided he was going to community college. I was like, independent community, what is that? I had no idea what it, I never heard of it.
Right.
But he said one thing. He said, I'm betting on myself. He said, Coach Brown won't talk to you. Didn't know who he was. Man got on the phone. He said, we're going to take care of your son. I said, man, we hear that all the time. We're going to give him a scholarship. Okay, we hear that all the time. What are you going to do for him academically for him to go on to the next level? He said he comes in, he's going to graduate.
So you wasn't counting on the one getting being the bag, whatever. You didn't want him to be the bag. You weren't caring about none of that.
None of that.
Your whole thing was him being in education, further himself beyond all that.
And I wanted him to play for a man. See what I'm saying? And everything Coach Brown said to me on that call on that Saturday night came to fruition. He said, we don't want your son so we can keep him from another college or university. We need him to help our program and for our program to win. And what we do in return, he'll get his academics.
Right.
And we'll make sure he's taken care of. Yeah, he's in a strange environment in Kansas and all that. I understood that.
Yeah.
But they won. Won the conference. First bowl game in history. Number 5 in the country. 32 of them players or more all went D1 football. Man did everything he said he was going to do.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he bet on himself.
Right.
But he educated himself also on the process. A lot of times, people hear NIL and they're coming from certain households, they're thinking about a bag.
What a bag.
Right?
Yeah.
Bag was the last thing in my mind because his family has resources. We wanted him to get his education and let them pay for it.
But Jay, you know, that separates y'all now because, you know, y'all different situation now. Ain't like the average month. You know what I'm saying? Can you tell, maybe you can instruct, say, is a kid and he come from a family that maybe the family they don't have resources. May not have the money that, or may not be able to do different things, whatever. But can you tell this player to bet on himself or to go this route? Because at the end of the day, he got 2 or 3 brothers and sisters at home that ain't got nothing to eat.
Mm-hmm. I get that. But see, the thing is, let's say you get the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's never talked to you about finances. Right? You went from having 0, basically. Now you got $1 million NIL deal.
But you got
Right?
you got some cars.
Okay,
you got some
but think
teeth
about
in your
it, though.
mouth. You got some jewelry.
Think about it. You got $1 million NIL deal, right? Then you got the government. They're going to tax you.
That's right.
FICA going to tax you. Medicare going to tax you. Then you go out and buy a car. They're going to tax you. Then property tax going to tax you. Insurance going to tax you. Car insurance on the car is going to tax you. $1 million is what? Then all of a sudden you get hurt. Now you devalued, right? So now you went from $1 million to being devalued, no education. So you're going to come back home, talk about what you did on Friday night, right? That's what you got to have the plan B. So what I've always told him was just have a plan B, bro. Because mom, dad ain't always going to be there. You're going to have to pick up your own bootstrap. But you use football because football is using you. Because this is what I look at.
Okay.
For 7 years, we was at somebody's stadium traveling, right?
Right.
That's 7 years that he could have been doing other things. So in those 7 years now, he's able to give back and do things in the community and understand that, hey, you know what? I didn't allow football to use me. I use football. Now I see the things he's doing with these football camps with these kids in Carbondale and all of that. He's giving back. He's able to tell a story. So hopefully now he can educate them. Here's what NIL really means. Well, for me, Jay Blankenship, his NIL started when he was born. He was born in Blankenship. It already has value.
Say it again, Jay.
Right?
Say it again.
So if we was in the era with him playing NIL, and I was sitting in that room with Nick Saban or whoever, you know what I've been saying? He's a Blankenship. His name already has value. So now let's negotiate on the name, because people not gonna see the face on Saturday. They're gonna see the jersey because the face is behind the helmet. So when I see Shador, what does it say? Sanders.
Sanders, yeah.
His daddy is a Sanders, right? People can get mad about, well, he went to Colorado behind his dad. He this and that, this and that. And then what the father's supposed to do?
Right.
And Deion, understanding the whole business of NIL and all of that, put his son in the best position
Right.
to be one of the top picks in the draft.
Right.
But sitting there as a college student on about $6 million. Right?
Right.
Right?
It
So
is.
we've got to educate our community. And the best people, from my perspective, that can educate those individuals are the former athletes
Right.
who went through the whole recruitment process.
The whole thing.
It's whole different than it was 40 years ago when I came through school. These coaches to tell you things. I ain't gonna name the school. We done bought all the checkerboard pants, all the other stuff. Coach decides to leave. Now he's got to start all over again. Got to start all over again, right?
Yeah.
And these big time programs. Then that coach leaves. Now he wants you to transfer to him to some small school out in the Dust Bowl. Now you stuck. Then you get the backlash from the local newspaper as to why aren't you recruiting this kid in your own backyard and he's having to go all the way to Tennessee. Now all of a sudden, people want to come into play in the ninth inning. So I was proud that he banked on himself. Proud of the fact that he overcame the injuries and all those type things, but still focused on his education because it's all going to pay off in the long run. But hopefully he can be one of these individuals that can continue to share with these young men. Football is glamorous, but at the end of the day, once you get hurt and the cheering stops, what's going to happen? If you don't leave there with a degree, you can talk about all you did on the field. Think about it. Former players want to be coaches on the college level, but couldn't be the head coach because they didn't have a college degree. So Deion wanted to coach at Florida State, didn't have a college degree, went to an HBCU, got his college degree. Florida State held out against him, went to Jackson State, now at Colorado. Now every team in the world want him now, from pros to college.
Dallas Cowboys finna sign. Jerry Jones called me this morning. Asked me, said, Atown, did you get a call from Deion yet? I said, well, Jerry, let me tell you something. Send me that bag. I'll get Deion on the phone with you.
And see, one
I
of the
told
things that I like JUJUAN to share with these athletes, they're looking at these dreams of playing college D1 football. Is the criteria it takes to play on that level, the commitment. Getting up at 5 and something in the morning and all this other stuff.
Running all.
Taking the right courses, graduating early from high school, all those type things. Those are things that before you can talk about NIL, they need to be learning about. Because most want to pick up the ball during the season. And when the season's in, they don't pick up the football no more. It's a full-time business.
I know. I asked you one the other day. He was telling me, he said, yeah, man, it's a year-round thing. Year-round situation.
Got summer conditioning, winter conditioning, spring practice, workouts year round.
Right.
I mean, if you ain't already doing all that in high school, probably you might go to college, but you most likely ain't going D1. Like, they ain't never made me work out. Like, literally, I used to wake up, go work out before school, then have workouts for 4th period, and then go to practice. Like, shoot. You gotta think, like, people don't understand. NIL only makes it just even coming from high school that much harder because now it's 1 million transfers. So, like, if you not like, you can't, like, coaches are expecting whoever come on their campus now to play. Like Deion said, even freshmen, they expect them to play.
Right.
You can't just go to college and expect to just get developed for 3 years no more because you ain't showed no progress by that second spring practice. Have your exit meeting, they're going to say, yeah, man, we like you and all that, but, we just think, you'd be better off if you just transfer somewhere else. You probably won't play here. Like, I never got that.
Right.
But I had teammates that got that talk. So now, if you got to be prepared, like, mentally and physically, because your window of error is much smaller now than it was.
So let me ask you a question. Dabo Swinney, he doesn't want to do the portal thing. That's not his. He doesn't believe in the portal. He don't want to do the portal thing. Did they ever come at you about coming to Clemson?
Shoot,
They never came at you about coming to Clemson.
And yeah, Dabo just started getting this year. I mean, win another natty, he ain't gonna have no choice. Look at the last few teams won the natty. Their best players being transferred for the most part.
I just wondered about that because not to harp on him or whatever, but he made a big thing about that, about not wanting to be on the portal and give players what.
I respect him. I respect what he's trying to do because he's trying to have some integrity because a lot of these coaches are just buying players. They like, bro, that went to Michigan instead of LSU. They literally bought him. So it's like, I mean, some of it comes down, are you okay with that? Like, some people probably say, but I don't even care if they like me or not. I want, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's cool. But I would tell somebody, go where you're needed. Of course, still go get a bag, but don't make that the only criteria. Like, it got to be some type of relationship, some type of, like, trust. Like, you can't just throw a number, and I feel like that's the whole problem with NIL right now.
Well, you know, we live in a kind of an age right now. We live in this damn era, man, where bag is where it's at. I mean, look at the incoming president. It's about money to him. It's about a bag to him. Trump care about that money, nothing else. He don't care about it. So it kind of set the situation up, man. Like I mean, most people in our community or actually society, you're not really anybody unless you got some money. That's the sad thing about it. That's sad though. Really, really messed up because you could be a great-hearted person, great person. You may not have any money at all. And you could look down on. That's not right. You know
Think
what I mean?
about all these players that you've seen over the years, pre-NIL, that have millions of dollars and broke. See, there's a method to this madness. Most parents want to just hear, "Oh, my son's gonna get an NIL." That's all they hear. They don't look at all the other what if scenarios. These scholarships, they're annual. Coach will leave anytime they want. So what I see with NIL, it's free agency. It's all it is, free agency. Right? So free agency allows you to go to the highest bidder. Hopefully you're not just going to the highest bidder to get a bag and stand on the sideline and hold a helmet. You want to be out there on the field. You know what I mean? But some of these people, some of these individuals, they don't have the confidence in themselves to be able to compete, first of all. Then, yeah, they're just seeking to get a bag. And then, as Magic Johnson says, you get that bag, and all of a sudden that bag that once was full is now half empty. You done gave it to every family member, this, that, not understanding tax limitations and all those other things. Now you back at ground zero. And then one of the things that a lot of these guys, especially in football and basketball, those are the two revenue-producing sports. The conversations that a coach has with a two-parent household versus a one-parent household is totally different.
Say it again, Jay. Say it one more time.
The conversation the coach has with both parents from a household is totally different than a single-family home, right? Mm-hmm. When he was in high school, I remember the conversation vividly. The coach spent more time talking to his mom than talking to me, and I had to tell the coach, you know his daddy live at home, right? Daddy's been an athlete. I understand it.
Right.
That changed the perspective. So even with this stuff, if I can dangle money and these kids bite on it and they feel under this pressure, I got to take care of mom. Yeah, I love mom, but at the same time, if I go out there and I blow out a knee, now I'm devalued, can't play again, what happens? That's why when I created the Bridgewater program for the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame, the reason why I did that, so many players in the state of South Carolina play college D1 sports, but don't graduate with a college degree for various reasons, right? But on Friday night, everybody clapping. On Saturday morning, everybody at the park talking. Come June, the graduation time, where you going to school? Prime example I used was his class in high school. All those guys that they're playing, all those seniors that they had, less than 1% went on to the next level. Now you're going to give that person who's never played a down of college football. Remember, in college football, you playing with men. These ain't just 18, 19-year-old kids. These are 25, 26-year-old grown men now who aren't going to let you come take their bag from them because they transfer from another institution. So I think, like Dion said, you're going to start to see more of these premium programs recruit transfer players. Don't have to retrain them. They know the routine. They know the rigmarole, all of that. A person coming directly from high school into the college program now is going to have to be a beast with all that added pressure. But nobody's guiding them. Nobody's giving them the mentorship. Nobody's educating the parents on scholarships and financial aid, Medicaid, all those type things. Because you figure when you play a college sport and you got a scholarship, you get hurt, they still want you to have your own insurance. Then they supplement that.
Well, so you have to have your own life insurance or policy or your body injury policy. Like from Lloyd's of London, that kind of thing.
But you got to have your insurance policy. So when he goes to the hospital and says, okay, I just told my quad, school says, okay, hit the parents, and then they're going to come back in the back end of it and take care of it.
Oh, okay.
See, that was frustrating to me because I'm like, well, he got hurt playing for you.
Right.
Why they hit my insurance? So I had to get educated on that process. Most parents are uneducated enough on these processes.
So he got hurt playing at school, and they sent y'all the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back around and took care of it.
Yeah.
So y'all paid the bill?
Our insurance did. Then they came around.
Okay, they came back around it.
Yeah.
And they reimbursed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, people don't understand the whole thing for me about NIL. They're employees. If you're getting up at 5:30 in the morning, going to weight training, running, all this other stuff, then going to eat breakfast, then go back shower, then you go to class and get out of class, you go eat, then you back at work room, then you got meetings, this and that. Ain't but 24 hours in a day. And about 12 of those hours, 13, 14, sometimes 16 or more, you all football related. When we had to talk to him, sometimes it was 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So these young men have to understand that this is a full-time business. Young ladies have to understand it's a full-time business. You go and you talk to any of those girls that are playing for Don Staley right now, they'll tell you it's a full-time business. And it's very cutthroat. Because him and I play in the same position, and his bag is larger than mine, because I'm standing on the sideline holding the helmet, think I'm rooting for him?
Yeah, nah. Yeah, you want me to get his ass hurt.
So you can step in, right?
Yeah.
So we need to start having these real conversations. Then you can't even talk about getting an NIL deal till you do the things you need to do in high school. You ask the average athlete, what is your core GPA? Know they tell you? Man, I never heard of it. What are those 13 core classes you have to take to make sure that your SAT or SAT scores can be lower or higher based on core, not your general GPA? But most parents don't even know that. Then they wonder why their kids end up at a JUCO. And that's a whole different experience. I know people saw Last Chance U and all that stuff. Yeah, it was great on film. He lived it. He lived it. And I hear guys will call me like, hey, man, I know your son is at Indy. They're recruiting me where I go, this and that, this and that, this and that. I don't want to go in the JUCO. And I said, well, who's recruiting you? What's your grades like? Then this conversation gets silent, crickets. Right?
Well, that's because nobody is really looking at, like you said, then all the details. They're in the fine print. Nobody's reading that shit. They're looking at the end result is that dollar sign and what that possibly could mean. You know what I'm saying? Like some people I hear right now, they're in college or whatever, going to different schools, whatever. They're transferring, whatever. And they already buying cars and jewelry and houses and shit, and they even don't have any value really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they can't make it. I'm just saying that as of right now, they don't have any value. you know. And that's the thing that we have to. I think people need to be educated on. I'm pretty sure they have a program. I think that might be educating people about how things go. But I've seen somewhere where some agents are being hired now for some players and everything now. But the agents, man, like when they say they were an agent, they want a bag.
Good point.
They want a bag off your ass.
So you got $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
NIL deal. Agent gonna get 5-10% of that. Is that $1 million still?
Nope.
So before you even saw the $1 million, it's already done hit. Because they're going to get theirs off the top. Then everybody they touch going to get theirs off the top. So now you've gone from $1.5 million to $500,000. Oh, but then again, now left with Uncle Sam going to get theirs off the top. So now you're down to about $200,000. Looks good to say I got $1 million NIL deal, but in reality you only got $200,000. Then you got all your family members now come out the woodwork, right? And then you feel obligated. That's why I'm glad to see people like Magic Johnson going back and telling these individuals, hey, man, this how it really works. Because your coach and your AD is not going to tell you that.
No.
Right? Your minister in your church is not telling you that. Lil Johnny on the corner is not telling you that. If your parents aren't astute enough to read that contract, they're not telling you that. Right? So at the end of the day, even with these NIL deals, even if you get a bag, the ultimate prize is to stand up on that stage at graduation with that piece of paper. Because that's something no one can ever take away from you. Because you've earned it.
So JUJUAN say, okay, now imagine that you really went out there and you got ready to you balled out 12 games. You got the crazy stats, right? And you had a chance to declare for the draft, or you had a chance to stay in college and get this NIL money. Because in the draft, you might not go first round, second round. You might be third round. Like, what would you do? Would you stay in school, or would you go to the draft?
It would probably depend on where I'd be like projected to be drafted.
Say they told you might be third round number.
I mean, might as well stay because at that point you can probably make what you would make or maybe more, like in college. So I mean, I'll probably stay because I mean, your draft stock can go down, but it can also go up with another year too.
See, the reason why I asked that question because it's this quarterback, Preve. He's suing the NCAA right now.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Diego something. He made me want to go see if I got another year.
Go back. Man.
I need to see. Go
give
me one more year.
Get that other year, bro. Because he's suing NCAA. So he playing in Vanderbilt. But now he balled out this year. He been playing ball this year. Little dude been getting in. So he gonna play in college. He's saying, man, look, damn the draft. He could go to draft this year. He could go in the draft, make back a third round, whatever. But he going back to college next year. He fought for that right. He fought for that goddamn college for the extra year. He fought for that shit because he getting that money. Vanderbilt gonna get that boy. If he don't stay at Vanderbilt, where if he go to, they gonna pay that boy. You know why? Because he beat who? Mm-hmm. He won some big games this year.
But see, the other part of that though, that high school players need to understand. Now, if you go to JUCO, technically, basically going there with zero because you still gonna get your 4 years.
Yeah, but that's still going. I don't know. Coming from a JUCO player myself, I don't really know if I like it because, like, I don't know. It's just a certain feeling like that we had. Like, we all knew we was losing the year if we went to JUCO anyway. Like, because now colleges are going to, remember I said they're not going to take the time to develop a high schooler.
Right.
So if it's a kid that they like but they can know maybe needs a little more development, they gonna say, okay, go to this JUCO, and we gonna, you know. So they gonna just start putting kids in different JUCOs, which they kind of do already a little bit, but now it's finna be just crazy. So it's like now a regular guy that could have went to a JUCO that just didn't have the opportunity, he's still not gonna have the opportunity because it's already been guys that's handpicked. That's not really like JUCO to me. I don't know how to explain it. Like we all knew that we was there to make it out of there. Like I don't really know how to explain it. It's just kind of taken away. Like it's make it not feel like it's credible or something. I don't know, because we played real football. Like I play against so many guys that's in the league. My DN went first round.
Okay.
Jermaine Johnson for the Jets. Like,
okay. Yeah.
I mean, like I got so many teammates and stuff in the league. Like we played real football. So I mean, it's real college football. The stadium just not as big.
Right.
So I feel like you should lose a year. Like, but I don't know. I mean, I can see both ways. I know the meaning behind it is what's gonna make it not be good because people are gonna abuse it. You know. So,
Right.
Like even we made them change the rule of JUCO before NIL, because at first it was like Kansas, you had to have a certain amount of players from Kansas on your team in JUCO. But when I went, they had changed the rule so you could have unlimited. So we kind of abused it. We only had like 1 or 2 players from Kansas on our whole team.
Right.
Everybody else was bounce backs from D1. Like, so after we went crazy, they changed the rule back. So, but I mean, they might come up with some type of rule to try to combat it, but I don't know.
Well, you know, this whole thing, man, that I think this right now, the portal and NIL is turning sports into the fucking wild, wild west right now. It's a good thing because you do get some of the best players on some of the good teams or some of the better teams, but then the rest of the teams that you think gonna be good don't have the best players. So it's kind of like, damn, like Florida State. We thought they was gonna be a good team this year. Remember, they came out the gate, right? What, number 4, something like that, 2 or 4, whatever.
It was high.
And then at first game, mollywopped. Wow, you know what I'm saying, they got mollywopped the first game. Feel me? Like then they just downhill. I mean, but they had what? DJ was the starting quarterback and just the top receivers, whatever, and did nothing this year.
So you know what's gonna happen though. Paul, you hit on it earlier. These are revenue producing sports with billionaire boosters to help build stadiums and all that. Typically, your football coach is the highest paid state, college, university employee, right? So it's about the revenue. The other portion of that is, in order to get the revenue, it's an arms race. And so now these schools are looking at, if I get in all these transfer players who already have maturity, I'm quicker to winning, right? But we want to still treat them as a student athlete because we don't want to treat them as employees because then there's some other things that come along with that. Those schools that, as Nick Saban said, those schools who don't adjust to the NIL, transfer portal, all those type things, they're going to become second tier. And what you're starting to see happen is, and we can just use Clemson, for example. They're like every school in America. When I was growing up, everybody wanted to go to Oklahoma. They was winning championships left and right.
Right.
University of Southern California, left and right.
Right.
University of Florida, left and right. University of Tennessee, left and right.
Penn State.
Nebraska, left and right.
Yeah.
Penn State, left and right. Miami, left and right.
Yeah.
At some point, when you start losing, you're going to really see what your fan base is like, right? But now these schools are building these collective bargaining agreements to build this war chest or NIL money. You see it on the field. Look at the first round of the playoffs. Embarrassing.
Yeah, those games don't even
matter.
Yeah, they suck.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? It's going to go exactly what you said. Whoever has the largest war chest that can get the transfer players to come to their school, Because as he said, it's going to be harder to develop that player because it's all about winning. And if that coach doesn't win within a certain time frame, so if Dabo down the street at Clemson don't start winning on the national level, because right now, think about it, you in the ACC, bro. You in the ACC.
Well, my theory about that is right here. I think Dabo going to go to Alabama because Alabama coach.
That door's already closed, bro. That door closed.
You think so?
Because he used that as a leverage chip. See, his coach is smart too. If I say, oh, Alabama wants me to come, Clemson's got to up their game. Clemson's going to up their game, right? Now he's one of the highest coaches in college football. Got blowed out really in the first round of the playoffs. Really hadn't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
He may get one or two of these players from the transfer portal. But right now, your schools like Oregon, Ohio State, University of Florida, all these schools are building that war chest. University of Southern California, get ready to do the same thing. It's about winning. It's about dollars. What's going to happen when you just make the playoffs and go no further than that? That fan base starts to churn. You saw it. I saw it. These younger generation haven't seen that yet. Now you're going to start to sit on a much higher level. Your LSUs, all these schools that was winning left and right. Skip Kelly on them now on the hot seat because they're not winning. What did he do? He's got the number one transfer portal this year.
Yeah.
Brought in, what, 28 transfers?
Spent that bread.
So if you're a young person coming right out of high school, you better be able to come in and ball, bro.
No doubt.
And pray you don't get injured, and pray you got the academics to maintain once you get on that field, and maintain all the other pressures that's going to come on that college campus, from the parties to the girls to the fraternities to the sororities, all that stuff. If you've never been in that environment, then you never understand that. And so a lot of these kids who have never been on a college campus and only going there for their first time college recruitment visit, then they get on that campus, first football game, whole different world. Whole different world.
Culture shock, baby.
Culture shock, right?
Shock, yeah.
Culture shock. So I wish all these young men well, but they got to have a plan B. And someone's got to educate whoever's in that household. And like I always say, we live in an environment now where may not even be a parent in that household. Mm-hmm. So it's whoever's influencing that young person. And that person who's influencing them can't make it about themselves. It's got to be about that individual. I never put no pressure on my son, period. I wanted him to live his own dream, his own goal. You go out there and you play, but if you out there, I always tell him, that man that's across from you, you got to think better that you better than him.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
And then everything else take care of itself. But if, when you look at the data, less than 3% going to go to the NFL.
3%.
So whatever happens to the other 97%, got to have a plan B, bro.
Plan B. Well, Jay and Juwan, we're going to shut this thing down today, man. I want to thank y'all for coming on the Atown podcast show and sharing some insight, some knowledge and everything like that. I'll ask y'all one last question. Who's going to win the championship this year?
Shoot. I'm going to go Oregon or Texas, one of them probably.
Pick one now. You can't get both.
Oh, man. Shoot. Yeah, Georgia don't got that quarterback, which he wasn't that good anyway. But
correct.
I'm probably go. I go Texas. I like Sarkisian.
Okay, Texas. Who you got?
Depends on who wins Oregon, Ohio State. Whoever wins that game is gonna win the national champion.
Think so?
I know so.
That's a good answer too, though.
Okay.
It's politics too, bro.
Okay.
You're not gonna want to see Penn State in a Texas national championship game.
I'm gonna take. You're going to take the winner of those two games. You're going to take Texas. I'm going to take Texas also. I like Texas. They got to get running back.
Blue.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he like that.
Because think about this question. Everybody talked about the Heisman, this and that, right?
Shout out to Travis Hunter.
I'm going to say this. I may be wrong. Penn State is probably going to rout Boise State. Because Franklin has to win. And it's going to be ugly. Because this whole 12-team playoff thing, it's fine when you got competitive teams. But when you saw what happened to SMU then Clemson and all that, they should never been in the playoffs to begin with. So politics came into play. The 12 best teams aren't actually in the playoffs.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming on, baby. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Check us out. Like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube. Be supportive. You know what I'm talking about? Come out tomorrow night. We're going to have live performances right here at the X19 Podcast Room Network. Join us as we celebrate the new year. New things, new blessings, new life. Yeah. I really want to know.